Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. Hold on to your hats because what I'm about to tell you could be a game changer for the Washington Commanders and the entire NFC East. Rumors are swirling around the NFL, and they're pointing to a blockbuster potential move that could reshape the landscape of our division and give Washington a serious boost on the defensive side of the ball. It involves none other than Fred Warner, the star linebacker from the San Francisco 49ers. Yes, you heard that right. The same Fred Warner who's been one of the most consistent and versatile linebackers in the league for years. Sources are indicating that the 49ers are seriously considering trading Warner to the Commanders, and it's not just some idle talk. It's a well-thought-out move driven by the 49ers' current struggles and their strategic focus on their upcoming draft and cap management. Right now, San Francisco is sitting at an 8-7 record, and their defense has been a question mark this season. They're giving up roughly 25 points per game, which isn't bad but certainly isn't elite either. Their cap situation is tight, with around $20 million in space, and they're in need of acquiring wide receivers and extending key players like Bosa. The big question here is why would the 49ers consider parting ways with Warner, a player who's been such a cornerstone for their defense? Well, it's all about cap management and draft strategy. Warner, at 29, is still a top-tier linebacker, but the 49ers are cautious about committing to an $18 million annual salary long-term, especially with their need to address other areas. They're also eyeing their draft picks to bolster the roster, and trading Warner could free up some cap space and assets for future needs. They're eyeing a deal that involves a second-round pick in the 2026 draft and a young linebacker from our team, which makes sense given their focus on rebuilding and retooling the defense. Now, for us as Washington fans, this isn't just a rumor. It's a potential game changer. Imagine inserting a player of Warner's caliber into our second level, instantly boosting our linebacker core and our overall defensive versatility. Warner is known as the Falcon of coverage because of his ability to neutralize threats and shadow the opponent's best receivers. He's a game changer in coverage, with a PFF grade averaging around 90. 2 over his career, and he's been selected to 4 Pro Bowls. In 2025, up until December 25th, he recorded 28 solo tackles, 0 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles with an EPA per target of -0.18. His coverage grade remains top-notch at 91.5, and his run defense is equally solid at 91.3. Even with an ankle injury in Week 8, Warner has proven his durability and elite production. Looking at his 2024 season, Warner's PFF grade is an impressive 92.4, with 76 solo tackles, surpassing many of his peers in versatility and consistency. His ability to read plays, make tackles in space, and disrupt the offense makes him a perfect fit for a team like Washington that's looking to take a step forward on defense. Bringing Warner into the fold would instantly elevate our second-level coverage, and projections suggest we could see around 10 additional interceptions next season, along with a significant drop, about 15%, incompletion percentage allowed versus our current metrics. That would bring us closer to elite territory, especially when combined with the existing talent on our roster. And let's not forget the impact on turnover margins, which are crucial in close games. Adding a player like Warner, who's known for his ball-hawking instincts, could lead to 5 more turnovers next season, whether through interceptions or forced fumbles, and help us score more points off those turnovers. Our defense could see a reduction of about 6 to 7 points per game, bringing us closer to the top defenses in the league. It's the kind of upgrade that could truly push us into playoff contention and even give us a real shot at making noise in the postseason. Now, when you compare Warner to our current linebackers, like Jamin Davis or even Cole Holcomb, the difference is night and day. Warner's versatility, leadership, and instinctive playmaking are qualities that can't be easily replaced. And considering the current NFL landscape, having a dominant linebacker like Warner can serve as a linchpin for a defense that wants to be feared by opponents. Think about the Ravens with Roquan Smith, Adding Warner could have a similar impact, boosting our stops, forcing turnovers, and creating chaos for the opposing offenses. Looking at the bigger picture, this move could be a strategic shot in the arm for Washington. Not only would Warner bring his talent, but he'd also be a veteran presence that can mentor our younger guys and elevate the entire defensive unit. His experience in high-stakes games, including playoff runs with the 49ers, would be invaluable as we push toward the postseason. Moreover, his leadership and football IQ could help us develop a more aggressive, disciplined, and instinctive defense. Now, let's talk about the odds and the impact on the Super Bowl picture. If Washington manages to acquire Warner, the odds of winning the Super Bowl could jump significantly. Right now, our Super Bowl chances are around plus 20-0, meaning we're long shots, but with a move like this, those odds could tighten considerably, perhaps to around plus 500. In the NFC, our chances would also improve, moving from plus 10-0 to about plus 800, as Warner's lockdown coverage against top-tier receivers like DK Metcalf or even the Seahawks' offense could be a crucial factor. Think about how he shut down the Seahawks' offense in recent matchups with an PFF grade of 85. 0 in those games and a 16% coverage win rate increase, reminiscent of how Brian Urlacher used to dominate in Chicago. That kind of impact can shift the balance in our favor in critical games. This potential trade isn't just about adding a player. It's about elevating the entire franchise's defensive identity. Warner's presence could turn us into a top-5 defense overnight, making us a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks and a team that every opponent fears. The legacy he could help us build would be one characterized by toughness, versatility, and game-changing plays, attributes that define championship defenses. Of course, all of this hinges on the negotiations and whether the 49ers are willing to part ways with Warner. But the signs are pointing toward a serious possibility, and if it happens, Washington fans, you better prepare for a seismic shift in our division and our playoff prospects. Warner could become the linchpin of a defense that's been craving a true leader, a playmaker, and a symbol of our defensive resurgence. It's a move that could elevate us from pretenders to serious contenders, and I, for one, am excited to see how this unfolds. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. As we look ahead, the possibility of adding Warner is generating serious buzz among fans and analysts alike. The NFL trade deadline is approaching, and teams are jockeying for position, trying to make moves that could define their seasons. For Washington, bringing in Warner isn't just a short-term fix, it's a statement of intent. It signals that we're serious about competing at the highest level, about building a defense that can carry us deep into the playoffs and maybe even beyond. The coaching staff, led by Ron Rivera, would have a field day with such a talented linebacker, integrating him into our scheme and maximizing his impact. And let's not forget the long-term implications. Warner's leadership and experience could be instrumental as we shape our team for the future. His presence could also attract other free agents and trade targets who see Washington as a rising power, a team willing to spend and invest in winning. The NFC East is already a highly competitive division, with Dallas, Philly, and the Giants all vying for supremacy. Adding a player like Warner could tip the scales in our favor, giving us the edge we need to finally break through and reclaim our spot at the top. Of course, fans are always cautious, and rightfully so. It's one thing to talk about acquiring a superstar like Warner, but the logistics and negotiations are complex. The 49ers will want a significant return, and Washington will need to weigh the costs carefully. But if the price is right, and if Warner is open to the move, this could be the kind of move that defines a franchise's trajectory for years to come. In conclusion, the potential trade for Fred Warner is one of those rare opportunities that could transform the Washington Commanders from a team on the rise to a true powerhouse. It's a move that's about more than just adding a player. It's about setting a tone, building a legacy, and cementing our place among the NFL's elite. As fans, we should be excited, hopeful, and ready to see this story unfold. The next few weeks could be a turning point, and I, for one, can't wait to see what happens. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Washington Commanders. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news.